I've always had a fascination with science as a source of inspiration, and those big questions really ignite the imagination. When I painted this series of paintings, of course, you can take a look at them and a lot of people will say, oh, it looks like ripples of water, it looks like rain, or of course, it can look like what you'd imagine sound to be as it echoes away. Circles, the circle is really the predominant shape in our life, in our world. What plays enormous role in this process is the light itself that falls onto the painting, which after all is what it's all about. One of the paintings in the last show is titled The Mystery of the Known. We know so much, and yet there is so much mystery still ahead of us. And what wonderful fertile ground for an artist to dwell on, so it's endless. Looking into a microscope or looking up into the heavens is all the same thing. It's the wonder of it all that I've been taken by. When it comes to the medium, which is an integral part, this is the painting, this is the work, right at the outset, I realized that in order to be an artist, I just wanted to add something new, something that I haven't seen before. So experimentation was always a part of me. So I went and discovered my own mediums, and I still do, and I still look. And that doesn't make the painting good or bad. These are just the tools, these are just the means, it's the language, my way of saying things. But it's still the challenge, to make it a success. Abstraction, to me, is a challenge. This is my song. It's a damn hard thing to pull off a good painting, to create a great work of art. And it doesn't always work, but for me, abstraction allows me that freedom of expression, because the paintings that I paint, they come from the accumulation of experience and visual experience and life itself. I always find the analogy with music interesting because, those people who look at an abstract painting and can't quite relate to it, would listen to a piece of music and love it and, get a lot of pleasure out of it, and some of them would say that they understand it, and yet it's completely abstract, and yet it speaks to you. So, in that sense, abstraction works for me, and what I try to do with abstraction is to breathe life into it, to make it sing. The reaction that people get on the whole, gives me a great pleasure, gives me a great sense of satisfaction, to make people think or just enjoy something they haven't seen before. The piece for the festival is called Escape. As I was walking through the printing factory, coming across this envelope machine, it was spewing thousands of envelopes a minute, and there was these wonderful little offcuts, of paper that the machine was putting aside, and then the idea came, that I can actually sort of take this paper and paint some of it and fill up the gallery with it. It was a huge success, you know. I mean, you could see anyone who walked into the studio and just saw this abundance of paper and immediately started to sort of like build and throw themselves into it. We knew it was going to be a goer. This little piece was for Ruby, who wanted to have a party in my studio. And I thought, well, I'll give you a party, Ruby. And it was done in the same vein as this installation. I thought, you know, just like a smaller version, but a wonderful opportunity to give these kids an experience and a sense of freedom is what we try to achieve, you know, to give us this kind of wonderful feeling of being in another world, you know, just you shut the door and you are in another world. The fun is about allowing the people to participate. You know, these are installations that are designed for people to be a part of with no rules. You can't change the world with a brush, that's for sure. But you can give people a lot of pleasure and joy, and the beauty of it is that we all have something else to say. The variety is infinite. My bit is about the wonder and the mystery and the joy of life itself.